All right. Joining us now for this week's roundtable chat is current senior University of Texas softball player Bella Dayton as a starting outfielder. Currently, Bella this year is having best year at the plate with a 366 average on the season so far. But how are we doing?
Pretty good. Definitely comparison to the past. Not just me, but the whole lineup. Our averages are pretty even and kind of around each other. So we know we're doing our job and we're moving people around the bases. So we're pretty excited.
There we go. Well,
Awesome.
we appreciate you joining us on. This is our third week of roundtable chat female edition. We started off with Vanderbilt track, and then last week Trinity Cannon over at Texas A&M. We had her on. I'm not sure if you know her from the Dallas area, but so we had the hop sides, hop on over. But we appreciate you coming on. But kind of get us started off. Tell us just about your journey in softball and how you ended up at Texas.
Yeah, so definitely during the whole recruiting process, like when I was younger, like you could commit in the 8th grade. So like recruiting started pretty early. I committed to Ole Miss as a freshman in high school, and then throughout, growing up in high school, I just got to a point where I didn't feel like it was right for me. So I decommitted, and it just so happened that, I ended up knowing a coach, or a coach knew me at Arizona. So she recruited me from there. So I went on a visit there, loved the coaching staff and the coach that was there. He was like the most winningest, and I wanted to be a part of that. So ended up there, and then just a couple years in, including COVID year, I just reevaluated my life, kind of what I was looking for and what I wanted my future to hold. So I just made another decision to leave and find where, my life would be happier, comfortable, maybe closer to family, just because I'm from the Dallas area, and it just worked out in my favor. So
nice. Can you tell us a little about the 3 years you've been at Texas and like what areas you've grown in, like just being closer to home, kind of like you said, maybe?
yeah, 3 years. I mean, I was a mid-year transfer, so that first year that I was at Texas, it was just for 6 months, and being able to go to the World Series and kind of coming into a culture that's already been set and a team that's already pretty like been identified as a whole throughout that whole fall season, and missing that, I kind of just had to come in with an open mind, knowing that opportunities might not be given from the jump, but to work hard, and that's what I did. And everybody, was there for each other, and kind of the leadership that I was looking for, showed up. And Haley Dolcini, one of my good friends, she was also a mid-year transfer, but it was her last year. So she was looking for pretty much the same things I was. So being able to come in with somebody who had the same mindset was super great. Being close to home has been great. I have a lot of family in Austin already, so being able to be around them after only seeing them, maybe just a couple times throughout the year, but having fans there pretty much every weekend, and my family being only 3 hours, that just meant a lot to me because I'm just a family-oriented, individual. So
right. And you're at the University of Texas, the new #1 team in the nation. Sorry, Kate. But can you walk us through a little typical day in the life as a student athlete at the University of Texas on the 40 acres?
yeah, for us, it varies from the fall to the spring. Like practice schedules are different, just depending on the off season and in season. I would say in season, it varies on our weight schedule, just because we travel a lot. We have our off day on Monday, which is kind of just optional. Whether you want to get your work in or not, that's solely up to you. Tuesday through Thursday, unless we play on Wednesdays, would probably be just like weights in the morning, 7:30 to 8:30. You have class from 8:39 to 2:30, and then you have practice from 2:30 to 5:30. After that, I give lessons, so I'm working from like 6:30 to 9 on some days. But during season, yeah, I know. During season, I try to only work Mondays and Tuesdays, give myself, sometimes before game days, and then fall is pretty much full send in the afternoons.
That's
there you
crazy.
go. That's a student athlete right there.
That's some days right there, man. That's wild.
Well, kind of next one. How do you mentally prepare for kind of these games to give against these tough opponents? Obviously, it's been a big topic this year with how strong y'all's non-conference schedule really was, whether it was a weekend series tournament or even just a midweek game like going down to LSU or Florida State. And then obviously the conference schedule you'll have this year as well.
Yeah, I think in the past, there's been some moments where like maybe our schedule wasn't as tough and not that it hurt us in postseason, but RPI kind of really matters. And some of those games that are some of the harder competition that we had in the past, maybe we just fell short and then our competition on other days just wasn't as great, but we came up on top. So I just think having the whole change in schedule and having the tough schedule we did, I don't think in the beginning we were scared of it at all. I think we were actually happy because you never know who you're going to have in the postseason, and to be able to play all those teams and then potentially have a chance to face them again. Like we already are 1 foot in the door. Like we face them, we know what we're going up against. And so again, to have the opportunity to face those potential teams again is great for us. Mentally preparing, shoot, I mean, we watch film and we really study our pitchers and just us as individuals. We have tons of film to watch on ourselves and just how we hit and just what we're hunting and looking for from each pitcher that we face, whether it's, their fourth string or their ace. You never know who we're going to get. So that's kind of what we do. Everybody has their own personal way of going around things and what they tell themselves and what they look for each and every game. But at the end of the day, we all come together. We communicate very well about what we're seeing and what the pitchers look like. And obviously that's been helping us really, really well so far.
No doubt. Again, joining us is current senior University of Texas softball player Bella Dayton. Do the two eye black under the left eye, what does that symbolize? Or is that just a little statement? What is that?
It's honestly just a statement. I've had a lot of people ask me that actually. And World Series year, I never wore eye black in the past when I was at Arizona. There was a lot of different rules and things that we had to go about. So coming to Texas and knowing that, there's a lot of open space and a lot of things you can do for yourself, I was like, you know what? I'll try new things. So I think I went through like 5 to 10 different eye black styles, and I'm very superstitious. So that's the one that worked, and I just kept it World Series. So I'm like, maybe it'll happen again.
There you go.
You got to keep it going because it's working. It's working. You got to keep it going. But after dropping game 1 versus OU, what was the locker room like after that first game? And then how did y'all kind of keep y'all's composure to come back and win games 2 and 3 to win the series?
Yeah, no, obviously we face them every year, and it is a rivalry and there's a lot of fans, but to know we were on our home field and to know the fan base that we did have and just how many people showed up, like the fans were waiting for us to do something. They were waiting for something great to happen. And I think yes, my team wants something great to happen, but to have people there to be rooting for you and to be just solely happy for you, I think that was always in the back of our head, like going there with great mindset. I think the first day that maybe a couple of people had, the jitters, but other than that, we came in strong. We knew who we were facing. We knew the plots, we knew the pitches to look for, and it's just another day at the field. Like, it's not like we've never played the game before. So I think we came in with a strong mindset. The locker room afterwards wasn't down. It wasn't like, oh, not that we can't do it. It was like an I can mindset and we will. So that was great. And then again, the fan base, we love it. The fan base is great to travel with too. Like, they're always there to support us. So
yeah,
there you go. Well, with y'all obviously currently ranked now as number 1, kind of not necessarily changes your mindset, but obviously maybe a little bit of added pressure. But kind of what is that mindset the rest of the season to make sure y'all do continue to stay on that path and achieve the goals that y'all had at the start of the season? Obviously, making it to Oklahoma City first and then ultimately winning it all.
Yeah, no, we definitely. I mean, obviously it's great to be number 1, but I don't think that like in the preseason that was necessarily our goal. Our goal is definitely the World Series and becoming national champions. And this is just something great that has happened along the way. We just go in every weekend, with the mindset of like anything is possible, any team is beatable, especially us. So like obviously we had a moment at the beginning of the season against Houston where we were number one, and we had that for about 5 days. So we lived and we learned through that one, and so we're holding strong onto this one, and again going through each weekend with the mindset of like everybody we face wants to beat us, so we can't show up, flat-footed and dragging our feet, because everybody does want to beat us. And I mean, we want to win just as bad, so we have to show up every day and prove that.
Oh yeah. Joining us is current senior University of Texas softball player Bella Dayton. It said your major is physical culture and sports. So what is that exactly, and what's the plan when your playing days are done?
Oh boy. I've gone through about 4 majors.
Yeah.
I've never really had a dream job. I've come across so many things that I'm like, okay, maybe I'll enjoy that, or I really am interested in that, but nothing has like popped out to me like, yes, I will be doing that. I always grew up wanting to be like a doctor, but that schooling with playing a sport was super tough for me in the beginning, so I switched that path. Right now, I do plan to play for the Italian team. I'm about to get my citizenship for that in like the next month or so. So playing for Team Italy, which is pretty much just a summer thing. So obviously, I will need to have a job. But lessons pays good. I mean, full time, not something that I want to do, but just on the side, like it brings in good money. I just applied to the fire academy, so we are seeing how that goes and just how that application process goes. But as of right now, hoping to become a firefighter. If not,
are you going to
not
have to
really
move
sure.
to Italy to play for them, or?
No. So the Italian team, it's pretty much just a month in the summer as of right now. After the 2024 Olympics go through, obviously softball didn't make that round, but they did come out with it that softball will be in the 2028 Olympics. It's in LA, so they have all the platforms to use. So hopefully we'll train for that and just go through all the qualifiers and stuff, and hopefully Italy makes it. So
I wanted to get your hopes up on playing in LA, just by the way, because the one stadium that they're probably going to push that to. All the Olympics are in LA besides softball. So
yeah, I mean,
it's a stadium well. That's fair enough.
She said,
I guess she's not like it. She maybe she hates the stadium, but that's all right,
Or maybe she just hates the state. You ever think about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's cool. It's okay. Me and Big Boy hate the state too. It's cool. We get it. It's all right.
Hey, it has its pretty parts, but I would never live there.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's just say that.
Well, make it back. Make it back your final year. You can hook us up with some tickets, maybe. Come to the World Series.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's all. And then you can leave. That's fine. But we'll end it on that note. But last question, kind of before we let you go. I had you kind of already talked about, obviously, that first World Series was a very memorable moment, and I thought about this question just now, and I have to ask it just because on Twitter, especially last year, your head coach Mike White's very outgoing guy. Everyone knows that. What is it like playing for him, like behind the curtains? What people don't see, obviously what they see on Twitter is obviously different than what it is behind the curtain. But what's that kind of like?
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people have opinions on him, and obviously it's your personal path that you go through and your experiences. But being with him every day, he was in the bullpen a lot in the past because he is solely pitching, and then would come into more position wise, kind of sporadically. Now that we do have a pitching coach, and he kind of is just on the side of that, he does work a lot with us. On the field, kind of just, throwing out his tips and viewpoints of what he sees and what he's looking for. a lot of times pregame, he gives us the rundown, and he always comes in with quotes and just, motivational like things to put in our heads, and just like where we're at, and how proud he is of us, and just how far we've come. Obviously he's coached for a long time, and he's experienced so many things. But I think like the road that we are on now, he's very grateful and very happy for us, and he's been more vocal about it. So like we're very appreciative of it, and just how far he's come with, the teams that I've been a part of in the past years, and just being more social and interactive with us. Again, we're very grateful and appreciative. And I think that a lot of people don't see like maybe him doing that, or maybe him, giving out the motivational spill, and being kind, and just trying to be a funny guy, but definitely it's there.
For sure.
It's there.
Well, we appreciate you joining us this week, and obviously you have to be here for the Big 12 tournament. So, and then hopefully the World Series happens. Me and I will have to pop out, and maybe we'll get these two dorks down here to come up and see a game. But we're trying to get them on the softball train, these two down below. So we'll maybe if we have some insight.
If John Boy can be on the softball train, you can be on the softball train.
There we go.
All in.
Well, Bella, we appreciate you joining us. Good luck rest of the season going into the Big 12 tournament here in, what was that, less than a month now. So, and then obviously into
like
the World
3
Series.
weeks.
Yeah. So we'll good luck, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Of course. Thanks, guys.